identify yourself with the band, with the audience?
I think, you know, it's like a family, you know, when you go through life in general, you experience things together, and it makes you stronger. You know, it makes families stronger, and we're friends, but it's kind of like a family with us. So we kind of help each other out, and I don't know, you do it for each other, not just for yourself.
And about keeping Rick in the band after the accident, do you think some kind of thing changed for the audience?
Yeah, I think we changed a lot. You know, we learned a lot, and unfortunately, all these awful things happened, like Steve died, and we changed a lot after that. I think it had an effect. I don't know. It made us stronger. It made us relax a little bit, and I think we're a better band for it. You know, we're definitely better people for it. And taken in the round stage for most of America and everything, with lasers and things moving. And we found that people were focusing on that. And, you know, we went to Europe, we didn't take it, and they liked it better. Yeah, instead of looking at all these effects and all this stuff, they just focusing on the band. And it made us work harder because we couldn't rely on lasers and the lighting rig moving around and doing all this stuff. So it made us, I think, better. You know, it made us more exciting.
Mexico right now is a really important stage and a really important album. What do you think about Mexico right now?
Well, I'm amazed that we've never come before. You know, we always wanted to come and play here. So it's great. You know, we played Monterey the other night. And that was amazing, great reaction. It's kind of what we expected, you know. We on this tour so far, you know, we played Portugal, and there was a very different reaction. I think it's the Latin blood, you know.
Yeah, it is.
They react differently, yeah. And on the last tour, we played Puerto Rico, and again, it was really different from anywhere else. And we kind of experienced that the other night in Monterey. And everyone goes, oh, wow, wait till you get to Mexico City, they're even wilder, you know.
Tell us about the album,
Right, this only came together about 6 months ago. Me and Joe were sitting on an aeroplane. We were just writing down all the songs that have never been released, that had been like maybe on a CD, one track, and we had like 24 songs. So we kind of crossed them out and got the best ones. And there were some songs that we'd never finished off, that we'd started with Steve Clark. Someone was doing Hysteria and Adrenalize, but there was like a chorus missing, and we could never get the time to do it. So we said, let's make it ourselves, go in the studio on days off and really finish this stuff off, and I can't believe we actually did it. You know, we actually finished it all off, and it sounds great.
And all the names are great, Adrenalize, Hysteria, 3 tracks, it's really pretty.
They usually take longer than the records. Yeah.
Yeah, they're so fun.
We think for ages, like sometimes years, you know. And then like Adrenalize, I made that up. It's not a real word, but it kind of means full of adrenaline and stuff. Retroactive, Joe thought of that. You know, some old songs, some new songs. It makes sense being retroactive.
How does it feel to be a rock star?
Oh, we never think of ourselves as rock stars.
You are.
Amigos, estamos aquí en Imagen Digital y estamos con Dave Campbell del grupo Leppard y vamos a platicar un poquito con él. Hi, how are you?
I've had better days.
Really? Why? Tell us.
Too much tequila.
Really, last night?
Yeah.
How was the game last night? Did you guys win?
We won, but it was very difficult.
Really?
We were losing at the start, and that good old British spirit came through.
That's great.
We eventually won, but they were very good. It was a very hard-fought contest.
How about the fans? Were they all crazy to see you guys?
Yeah, that was different. I mean, normally we go on stage and play music in front of people, and it's the first time we've ever played soccer. in front of so many people and cameras. It was a little off-putting.
Is it the same feeling you get when you're in stage?
No, because when I'm on stage, I have a little bit more control than when I'm playing soccer. Yeah, so, you know, it made me very nervous. I don't get so nervous on stage because we're well rehearsed and, you know, I know I can play guitar probably a bit better than I can play soccer.
Really?
I hope so.
Of course you do.
Otherwise I'm useless.
Tell us about Adrenaline.
Well, we've been touring the record for the last 16 months, and we finished here in Mexico City, these last 2 shows. The record's been very successful all over the world, and we've been all over the world to promote it. We've been all over Europe and Scandinavia and America and Canada and Australia and Japan, New Zealand, all those places. It's been very successful.
How long did it take you guys to record and mix the whole album?
Well, it didn't take me any time because I wasn't there. I joined the band after the completion of the record. It took them their usual 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
I promise the next one won't.
It won't?
No.
No?
I'm a very impatient man.
What did you feel of being part of Def Leppard?
It's good. There's a very strong group spirit with the band. Very, very good.
You have a good connection with them and everything?
Yeah, we have a lot in common other than just being musicians. We're of the same age and we come from the same place. We watch soccer, you know. We drink.
You love it, don't you
We
guys?
drink tea. Yeah, we do. I've never worked with people that I've had so much in common with before. Usually I've worked with people who are different nationality, a lot older than me usually. So it's good. It's a very, very, very comfortable band to be in.
Did you ever dream that you were going to be part of Def Leppard?
No, but I remember wanting to be years ago when I saw Def Leppard for the first time, and I could tell even by just watching them on stage that there was a real good connection with them, and I wish that I could be in a band like that because there aren't too
Now
many.
you're there. What was your feeling when they gave you the news? Your first reaction?
Well, I was very excited. I was a little anxious also because I've been in so many other bands before and things hadn't always worked out. And at the time when I joined Def Leppard, I was going to make my own record. And I was very happy about that. So I had to leave that aside to do this. And in a way, I was kind of sad, but at the same time, I couldn't refuse an opportunity to be in a band like Def Leppard because it's a very creative band. Everyone in the band writes music, and everyone gets involved in all the creative aspects. So it's a lot more rewarding than just being a guitar player in someone's band. Had it been that sort of situation, then I wouldn't have done it. But I could tell that they were good people. You know, they didn't make the decision overnight. It went on over a period of a couple of weeks. We'd meet and we'd talk.
Yeah.
And so we all felt comfortable with it. So I was very excited.
I'm very happy you're there. You're very good.
Why, thank you.
Really, I like it a lot. And then, have you ever gone blank on stage, that you forget what you have to do, to play, to sing, to whatever to do?
Many, many times.
Yeah. What do you do at that moment?
Well, it happens for different reasons. Sometimes I'm on stage, I see a pretty girl, and I forget it. That's usually what happens. Sometimes it happens because I find we play so many shows, and sometimes I find my mind wanders. I think about other things.
Mm-hmm.
If the audience isn't very good, at some point in the stage I'll start thinking about soccer or something else. Girls. And when I do that, I realize that I don't know what I'm doing, so I don't know what comes next. And sometimes my hands, they do it anyway, without my brain, and sometimes they don't, and I panic and make mistakes. But we all do it.
How was working with Robert Plant in that festival you guys did together?
It was very good. He's I had seen him before about 5 or 6 years ago, and I wasn't so impressed. But he has a really good new record out and a much better band. Mm-hmm. And the band were really, really strong. And Robert's voice is a lot stronger than it has been in years. And he also did a lot of Led Zeppelin songs, which he hasn't been doing for a long time, which was really good. And his band was good enough to carry it off. So he was impressive.
That was good, isn't it? It was a good festival.
Mm-hmm.
What's something that scares you in life?
Ooh, Commitment.
Really?
Scares every man. No.
Not every man. Come on. Truly. Really? Commitment?
No. It scares every young man.
Yeah.
I'm not that.
Oh, you're
I'm
so
not that
old that you know?
I feel old today.
No, you're not. It's only hangover.
It's only a hangover. Okay. Yeah, many things scare me. Spiders.
Oh, me too. I hate
Big
them.
ones.
Scorpions.
Scorpions, yeah.
Girls?
Girls don't scare me.
No.
No.
Nothing. What are the future plans for the rest of the year for Def Leppard?
Nothing. we have these last 2 shows here in Mexico, and then we take time off, and we have the retroactive album coming out next month, October. Don't think we're going to actually do anything to promote the record. We've been doing most of that while we've been on tour, so we'll just sit back for a while and see what happens. I think maybe we'll have to make one video in the next couple of months for a single off that record, and other than that, we're just going to take time off. We're all going to go to our own respective homes, and we'll work on ideas for the next record, and sometime in 1994 we'll get together and start working on an album.
And come back to Mexico. Please.
I hope so, yeah. For
Please.
more tequila.
For more tequila.
La entrevista.